what is your feeling? What could be improved, or what are your expectations at this coaching?
Just mulligans, really. That's and more of like value plays. I have a
Mulligans
problem
and
with
value
that.
plays. Okay.
Yeah, because I feel like I mulligan wrong all the time.
Okay.
So it messes me up in the later game. Like I realize, oh, I could have kept this card, and now I didn't, so I'm screwed. You know.
Okay.
Yeah, I find myself in that position a lot.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm not really sure. I think that's really the main problem for me. I mean, if you see anything else in my play, please let me know because I'm not really sure.
Yeah, sure.
Could be.
Let's see.
All right. So wait, do you want me to cue it now?
No,
Or
let's talk about the deck now a little bit. So, what decks
okay.
are you usually playing? What decks are you
Um,
experienced with, and
I
what
play a
deck do
lot
you
of.
choose for coaching?
Okay, well, I'm gonna choose for coaching. Medivh Control Mage.
Okay.
But I play a bunch of different things, which I've had coaching in the past from Gamer Sensei. You've heard of that?
Yes.
And it was a fail.
It
Didn't
was a
learn anything
fail.
from that.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't learn anything from them because it just didn't work. Because I changed my decks a lot, which I've tried not to do because I find myself deceiving from that. But
Mm-hmm.
I use Miracle Rogue, um, Hemet Mage, Control Shaman, Element Shaman, just and Freeze and Medivh, like those kind of decks. But I'm most comfortable with Mage, like any kind of Mage deck. I'm more comfortable with because I've been playing Mage for a while and like any kind of
Okay.
like freeze or control mage, I'm like really comfortable with that. But other than that, like any other class, I'm kind of unfamiliar. Don't really know what to do.
Okay. All right.
Um,
Okay. So, um, I have to say that all the decks you told me are complicated control decks. So, what rank are you usually hitting, or what's your average rank over many seasons, and what was your best rank?
I usually get stuck around like 10 or 9. Like
Mm-hmm.
always stuck there.
Okay.
But my highest rank, but I don't really count this anymore because
Mm-hmm.
it was so long ago. But it's rank 2. But that was like way back Nox Ramus, like when Freeze Mage was like really overpowered and like Warrior was like the only class that could beat it, pretty
Okay.
much. So that was a long time ago. And I almost made it. I was getting close to legend, but I just couldn't do it. Like I deceded from rank 2 all the way back to like 8 and I just quit. I was over it. So I
Mm-hmm.
just didn't even try at that
I
point
see.
because
I see.
yeah, I got too greedy and I started switching decks. I stopped using freeze and then I just found myself going all the way back to 7 and then 8 and then I just quit. Which that usually happens a lot. I when I lose like 3 or 4 times with the deck, I'll start to switch, and then I'll start losing more, and then I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna stop playing for tonight, and then which
Yeah.
makes me play less, and then
Yeah.
and then I don't rank up because all that time I didn't play, it's like it was wasted,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
um,
So one other recommendation I really have: stop switching the deck often. It's really not good if you switch often.
yeah,
It's You will learn less because you will confuse yourself more, and you have no chance getting deep knowledge of the specific matchups, right? Because the details of a matchup, especially with a heavy control deck, and all the decks you've told me about, or let's say almost all of them are heavy control decks. And in heavy control decks, you need to have detailed knowledge of the matchups, and it's much harder with that kind of stuff. If you compare that to my hunter I just played, the hunter has a much lower level of, do you say deepness or something like that? No, depth. Depth? No, depth in terms of complexity, right? So
yeah,
you have, because what happens with the control deck is you very often end up uh, passing, or let's say using your hero power on maybe turn 1, 2, and sometimes even turn 3. And that gives you much more options for the future turns, right? So then on the turn 4, you will likely have, let's say, I don't know, 3 or 4 cards costing 4 mana. And then going from there, you have much more options for the following turns. So
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
basically the decision tree, the path you can take, the pro players say lines, seeing the lines in the game, right? You have so much more lines in the heavy control deck compared to a mid-range deck or an aggressive deck, that it is getting really, really much harder to learn the specifics and to see good lines that are valuable, or that are the winning lines basically for certain matchups, and that needs a high amount of training. So you really should stick to one specific deck if you want to go that control route, let's say. So
yeah, I know one issue that I have from like my previous coaching and stuff was that I would make my plays too quick because like sometimes I would almost throw a card out before they even got to say anything about it because it was like so natural to me, and they were just like, wait, they were like, wait, don't use the card so fast. He's like, think about it. What is that card going to do for you, and what can they use to counter it? And I don't really think about those things. I'm like, oh yeah, like I just like throw the card out like, oh, this looks good, this is on curve, throw it out there, and then I get punished like horribly and end up losing the game.
Yeah, that's definitely a huge point. You need to think about your plays, right? You need to think about future turns. You need to think about the next turn. And in heavy control decks, you even need to think about maybe even the end of the game. Like sometimes you need to think like, I don't know, 10 or 15 turns ahead in heavy control matchups, because the game actually goes that long. You need to know if you can afford to, I don't know, polymorph a certain minion or something like that, right? So
I don't. That's the things I don't think about. I'm just like, oh, this I need to polymorph this now, and then something else even bigger comes out, and I'm just like, shit, like I don't know what to do now. But my worst like matchups, like I have a problem with going against, because I have like pretty much almost every deck that's like viable, I guess now, because I've dusted like all my old cards. I'm a person that dusts like all the old expansions, so I don't have anything from the old ones because I don't play wild. And I have pretty much every deck that's viable right now. And the two decks actually that I have a problem going up against is Quest and Pirate. Obviously, like everybody has a problem with Pirate, but Quest Rogue is like really annoying. I can't go against him. Like my Medivh control deck does not work. I end up getting destroyed, like absolutely killed by them, like on turn 5 or 6. But the Medivh control is interesting. I actually got it from a high legend player that I know. He was like legend 50 or something. And he gave this to me and said it was a good deck. And I mean, it was working somewhat, but I would get killed by a Pirate. And I kept going against Pirate all the time.
Well, can you send me the deck list in the chat? Or in Discord or somewhere? You don't happen to know if it's the Psi Günther deck list?
Because it might be. He might have took it from somebody else. He probably did. He probably just acted like it was him.
Yeah.
Like,
so it was
so good.
There, like 1 week ago or something like that. There was a post on Reddit. Somebody reported, and I actually saw the deck being played by a German streamer called Senfglas, and it's a very popular Medivh control mage. I would actually like to play this deck. It looks pretty.
It's really fun. Like I like.
But I just want to make sure that we are talking somewhat about the same decklist. So
yeah,
it would be really nice.
I have to open up Discord and send it that way because I had to do it through my computer. Give me 1 second.
Yeah. So another thing that usually happens to control players that do not really develop as they would like to is you don't really play against good opponents that often. Yeah, that's exactly or maybe not exactly, but yeah, no, I really think it's almost exactly that's the Psi Günther list. Okay, good.
Okay, well then that's good to know.
Yeah, so I know this list. So this list was used to hit #1 legend on Europe, so it's a pretty good list. And yeah, so what happens to control players who stay in the lower ranks is because your opponents are not really that strong, is you sometimes win games that you are not supposed to win, because your opponent doesn't really punish your misplays, especially in control against control matchups. And also, you sometimes will lose games because, let's say, what happens, I told you before, there are multiple lines, right? And in control matchups, you have so many lines to follow that it's really complicated to see the good ones, right? Because you have 5, 6, sometimes even 7 options you can play in one turn, and they all influence what's coming next. So it's very hard to see the good stuff. And let's say you choose, and all the lines have different qualities, right? Some have really high possibility to win, some have mediocre possibility to win, some have low possibility to win, but they may still win, right? And let's say you choose a line that has a medium win quality. And a really excellent opponent will realize that and will punish you for that, right? But another opponent who's not really that good will maybe also just answer with another, from his point of perspective, line that also has medium quality to win, right? And then you end up in situations where the good players never come to, because their games just end so much faster because the players just do it so much better, right? So if you understand what I mean, you
I understand what you're saying.
you run into scenarios where you do a misplay and you don't realize it, and the opponent also doesn't realize it. So you play a misplay and he answers it, your opponent answers it with another misplay, and then you also don't realize that, and you follow that with another misplay. If you understand what I mean. So, and this is specifically the case for heavy control decks. And when your opponents are kind of weaker, then you will not realize that so often. And the opponents obviously also not, because the stuff is really hard to see. It's not that easy. So, and that is why I recommend to go for more mid-rangey, more aggressive decks until you reach rank 5. Because then your opponents are that good that they will punish most of your misplays, and you will actually realize that you made something bad because you lose, right? So, and you will lose more often with your control decks, and you will be like, usually I'm able to beat this deck. So, and the opponent still punished you for some stuff. So anyways, so keep in mind that I would recommend you, especially because you hit the high ranks already and you're playing for a very long time, I would recommend you learn one deck. That's my recommendation. Learn one deck. Learn one at least mid-range deck, if not aggressive deck. A faster one that pushes you to rank 5, and study that one deck in all detail. Play it again, play it again, play it again, and don't switch the deck. This is really how you can improve, because when you cannot leave that rank 10, that means you are an okay player. That is actually rank 10 is, I have to look it up. You can check it. It's marked, I think, in my guide to the high ranks. But I think that is the top 20%, maybe even top 10% of all players. So you're really not a terrible player, but you still cannot reach the top of the top, because you kind of hold yourself back by your personal choices. But anyways, I think actually the Medivh, the Psy Günther deck here is somewhat mid-rangey, so let's just play it. Basically, you tell me your moves, and then I comment on that. And then afterwards, you can even rewatch it. And oh damn it, the Hearthstone sounds. I have to restart Hearthstone, I think. You can still tell me how you would mulligan here. I would
get rid of this entire hand. Maybe keep Ice Block, like one of them, but I would get rid of this entire hand because this is all bad. I mean, the Fireball, and this is Pirate War. Fireball's not going to help us. Medivh, definitely not going to help us. And 2 Ice Blocks is just unnecessary. Like, especially because I have Arcanologist, like the synergy kind of goes away.
So what's your thought process by keeping 1 Ice Block? Why would you keep 1 Ice Block?
He might like be able to kill me quickly, so I could go for like an aggressive line as well by trying to just hit him face. and maybe be able to burn him down possibly, because I did do that before actually. Like this, I had Ice Block and it saved me because he had 2/7/3. Oh crap! I'm running down on time. Um, I'll just keep one anyway. I don't know. I'm running down on time. The timer thing went down.
Okay. Okay, my answer here is it doesn't really matter, but my answer here is you never keep Ice Block. Not against anyone. Because you just said it, your deck has better anti-aggression tools. You have Econologist, that one fetches you the secret. And if you are losing, if you're in a losing position, you lose.
Shit, I got both of them.
Damn it. Wait, that's really good, right? That draws you your secrets, right? That's really awesome.
So do I just coin that out?
What would you play here? Don't ask me. You tell me what you would play and why. That's really important because this way we can figure out which of your thoughts are wrong, right? Like why you would think this play is good, and then I can explain you if it is really like that or if it is different. So what would you play here?
I would just coin out Arcanologist here because I can get another one of my secrets. And like I don't feel like Mana Worm's that great here because, you know, it would be good if I was trying to be aggressive, but I'm trying to keep myself alive and gain control of the board. So I feel like getting another secret.
To be honest, I'm really in between here. I think either playing the Mana Worm or coining the Econologist is fine. I think both are great options.
I think coining this is good because I can play another one again and then I can just go into Cabalist.
This is like with this line, but these lines both seem very nice to me because with this line you can follow up with another 2-drop and you can actually save the Mana Worm for later damage.
Oh,
with the other line,
trading.
Yeah, that is quite surprising to me as well. But well, there we go. And with the coining line, you minimize your chances of drawing the secrets, right? You never want to draw these secrets, right? You want to draw them from your card, from your 2/3, right? So
I think I just play another one again.
Iconologist, yeah, right. Do that. That's another 2-drop, and you will get the other secret out. And yeah, so.
And now I'm pretty safe for a while, I guess, with these.
Yeah, secrets.
Right. Oh, that's not good. He's trading so much. I'm so surprised. Like, why?
Well, here it kind of makes sense, right? Because he's buffing that Frauding Berserker. Here it kind of makes sense.
Okay, so I think I just play Cabalist here because I don't really see much of anything else. Because the next turn I can follow up with a Polymorph and possibly answer something if there's on the board with the Cabalist as well.
So next turn we're definitely playing the Polymorph, right?
Yeah, that has to happen because we'll be
that has
dead
to happen.
if we don't.
So since it's Pirate Warrior, I'm not 100% sure we are ever able to play that Cabal Courier.
So I think
because we basically want to stay alive, right? And if we play Cabal Courier, we just take 7 damage. If we play Ice Barrier here, we actually heal for 1, right?
Yeah.
So I think Ice Barrier is the play. Because I'm not quite sure the game might end up before we are able to play that Cabal Courier. And we always want to play that Ice Barrier, right? That's just very good healing in this matchup. So I think Ice Barrier is the correct play here. Your play is okayish, but I think this one wins the game more often. Yeah, because the 2/2 doesn't do anything on the board, right? And now
that's so good. That card's so good.
Yeah, that card is really great in the matchup.
Polymorph that
7/4. Polymorph
100%.
Yeah.
And in turn, okay. I'm hoping he plays like an Arcanite Reaper. That'd be so good here.
Exactly.
Damn it. What is this? Oh, this is so bad. God. Oh. Okay.
That's nice, right?
Yeah, so I could just Volcanic Potion ping one of them.
Yep.
The 4/3s.
Better than nothing, right?
Yeah, because right now we're in a really kind of crappy spot.
Yeah, really crappy spot. It's true. But he had some good opening. Especially that Frothing Berserker buffing it with all the 1/1s, really nice.
Oh, thank goodness, yes, finally. I was waiting for a weapon. I was like, I just wanted to destroy one of his damn weapons. That's still not that good though. Now I'm looking at it. It's just, like,
It's
really
not that
bad.
crazy, I would say. It's not actually that crazy.
So I could just play the ooze and then ping the 4/1 and oh no, I could ping it and play Mana Worm just because I guess.
I'm wondering if we need to play Ice Block, but I guess we have to rely on the fact that we have to hope that he cannot kill us. The problem is we take too much damage, right? He will just pop the Ice Block anyway, so yeah, I think it's the Ooze, the Mana Worm, and the ping.
Yeah, I think we have to hope for that.
And hope for the best.
Yeah.
And you see, I think if you would have played Cabal Courier, you would have been already dead, right?
Yeah, I would have been dead actually, because I didn't. Yeah. The other charge minion would have. Oh Jesus!
But it looks like we lose anyways.
Oh.
Oh well, not quite, not 100%.
Okay, well, where we were almost
still at
dead. Jeez. Okay, so Ice Block is a definite here, right?
Kinda, right?
Well, I think I would play Primordial first, just to see.
Yeah, let's start with the Primordial. I kind of
because we could get something really good.
Yeah, I think so too.
Oh, that's not bad. I mean, we could hope for on the Blizzard. We could, Let's
see.
Because, I mean, he's going to pop the Ice Block anyway. I guess it just keeps us alive for security, and then we could play Ice Block and Blizzard next turn.
No, we cannot do that. We have... right, it's reduced by 2 mana, right?
Yeah. So I'm saying this turn we could Ice Block, keep the Blizzard, and the next turn we can Ice Block and Blizzard again. Clear the board. Possibly.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe pick up the Blizzard. Yeah, the Volcanic is stupid because it's killing our board, right?
So we should Ice Block here, right? And then trade.
I think we Blizzard here, actually. I think that's the winning line. We Blizzard here and trade off the 1/1 and hit face.
Oh shit. No time. Oh, my time ran down. No.
Well, it's alright. He has the Heroic Strike. No,
dang it.
The thing is, he didn't have the damage last turn, right? So I was hoping he would not top deck direct damage.
Yeah.
And that we can actually push some extra mana in this turn. And we needed to deal with the minions anyway, right? And only the Blizzard was dealing well with the minions. Because the Ice Block just delays a turn. It didn't really help that much. But I mean, it's okay. I think that you already learned a small lesson that you need to play your anti-aggressive cards as fast as you can, I would say. But let's just continue.